Hello, everybody. Okay, normally I tell you what time it is, but look at a clock. It's 5:25, 2024, and there's probably going to be a reason for saying that at some point. Um, as you see, my title is Tragedy Pimps Live at the Circus. So, this this is going to be something. And I'm just going to tell you right now, by the time I get done with this, if someone decides to come in here and try to, throw my stuff in the dumpster or try to make it where you can't see the whole video that I'm making for you, well, then you're just going to have to come back because I'm going to keep coming back talking about this until everybody knows about it. Um, I am not normally, I am a true crime creator. I do solved and unsolved cases, and I do missing kids. Um, and I've stayed away from the bullshit
I can't find you.
that's been running around. Well, I'm live. What do you mean you can't find me?
I don't see you live. I'm looking.
Well, it says live 2 minutes and 11 seconds. See, she can't find me. I'm invisible. I'm too damn cute to be invisible. Well, I don't know. You need to go restart your phone. I'm live. You better find me on the internet. How I got a studio manager who makes sure my stuff is running, and it says live 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Um, Not sure what's going on with that, but it is something we need to figure out before we get started with this hot mess, because that's exactly what this is, a hot flipping mess. Well,
I'm looking. Hold on. I can't remember. Let me see.
oops. Have I been talking to myself all this time?
Yes.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I've been talking to myself for 3 minutes and 25 seconds because I had my live on private while I was getting all this information together. So y'all missed my, flag. Well, that I'm just play it again. All right, I think we got this all together now. I replayed my intro and my stuff could be seen because I had myself at private, and there was a reason for that. Uh, I put this together, and I don't know if it's going to show you what I said in the first 3 minutes, but I'm gonna repeat that as well. I don't normally, and you can look at my channel to verify this. I don't come on my channel to talk about other creators unless they do something really stupid, like, oh, I don't know, use my stuff and don't give me credit. Then I got something to say about you. But other than that, I stick to crime, true crime, solved and unsolved cases. And I've been following Sebastian for a while. So let's just get his pretty face up there right out the gate. We all know we're talking about Sebastian. Everything that I'm going to talk about is about Sebastian. I didn't want to come on here and just flip out like some people are doing. We have an entire, like, two bowling lanes bowling at the same time. Team Sebastian ain't Team Sebastian. It ain't looking like it ain't sounding like it, and it ain't smelling like it. So before I get started on this circus and the tragedy pimps, and it is what it is, let's just throw this disclaimer up right here. I know you can read, but allowance is made for fair use. And I'm going to get a lot of criticism, and I'm going to get a lot of comments, and I'm going to report, and I'm going to teach people everything the education and research that I have done, and it's permitted by copyright statute. So it is what it is. If you didn't want the truth out there about what you're doing, then you should have done the right thing. You should have told the truth. You should have been upfront about what your agenda is. Because everything is about this kid. Everything. We've been looking too long, too hard, under too many rocks for this shit y'all are doing. And I really held my voice. I held my voice, y'all, waiting to see if it was gonna come back together. But it didn't. It didn't. So let's get started with the tragedy pimps. And it is what it is. The truth shall set you free if you choose to take it. If you choose to stay the way you're going, well, may the internet eat you up. May YouTube eat you alive like an alligator because you deserve it for this shady ass shit. So, who are we talking about? This guy, all right, here. He's even pointing at himself. Get a good look at him. Get a damn good look at him. Because all your preaching and all your other stuff you saying, faking the people this, faking the people of that. I'm a man of God, and I will call out another man without a beat missing. There are certain things that men are required to do in their faith. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Quaker, whether you're a Mennonite, I don't know how far in history I need to go. Caveman era, where there really wasn't a religion discussed, men do certain things, and certain things men should not do. You're about to lose your cape. Sorry, buddy. You brought it on yourself. You get up every night and you talk about, oh, this is about Sebastian. Where do you think he is? Oh, a lot. Get the hell out of here with that. This is about Sebastian. You have lost your way. And you're not alone. There's a whole damn group of you who have lost your way. So let's get with it, huh? So the story is little Mr. Man right here, um, tells this tragic story about how he was abused and that he had to leave from where he was because he got abused by a woman. Well, I guess that's what you gotta figure out what abuse means. I mean, I'm sure for a man it's different than a woman, a whole lot different. Because, see, we're not allowed to put our hands on people. We're not allowed, technically, to yell at a woman more than a whisper. So I don't know what book you're reading, but get back in it because you got a lot of stuff to turn around. It's your own fault. Now deal with it. This is got to be put out front of how this all got to where it is. And in these text messages right here is a conversation with T.R.A.G.E.D.Y and the woman that he was living with for 5 years. 5 years. He writes in the black and white, she's writing in the blue and white. And yes, this all is very important because of where it leads to. He says, while I'm on the phone talking shit, she says, laughing, it's really funny. We will see who laughs laugh. Fuck you. And that's because he was laughing in the room and she thought he was laughing at her. He said, literally talking to the kid's dad, and you're snapping out the window. He's talking about Seth. He's talking to Seth on the phone. And the girl and him are having issues brought on by him. I listened to the whole 4 hours, and I never heard anything so disgusting in my whole life. And I mean disgusting coming from a so-called man to a woman. And she's telling him, remove my shit, please, from your shit. Remove me from your shit. You can sleep on the couch until you move out. You're not sleeping in my bed anymore. Everything I paid for is mine. Like you said, everything you paid for is yours. Now, let me get this scrolling thing out my way because I don't want to miss a bottom word. And he says, I didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. Didn't say anything, huh? Okay, let's try this. One of the ladies reading and listening to this 4 hour thing about T.R.A.G.E.D.Y. I can say your name. I'm not afraid of you. I'm a grown ass man. Remember that. So, in this girl's 4 hour thing, if you don't want to believe her, that's all cool. But there's a lot of other people who know him just like she does. Regina says, I'm just letting you know. I already know everything you're saying is true. And she's talking to the girl. When I left Rev Gang, I had so many people that knew his bullshit trying to get to me to expose him. Then she says again, sending me the screenshot. See, the thing is, he burned people left and right and hid them in the Discord after he got caught up. They hit me up, sent me all the screenshots. And then she carries on to say to some person named at Hellcat, that's true. So I don't know what Hellcat said, but we just hanging on with this. They want a strong woman that can prop them up. But as soon as a strong woman catches on to their bullshit, they're a problem. So you tried to say that this girl you've been living with for 5 years is the problem. You came to Tennessee saying the girl is the problem. But that's okay. We're not done yet with this. And this is very important so you can see where this bullshit train is going. He says, I'm not going to fight with you. I got woke up to being hit with the fucking phone and you welted my hip from that dam. I will, don't worry. And she says, I apologize for that already. I don't owe you another one. It wasn't aimed at you. Your leg was under the blanket, and I was reacting to you trying to make plans to go fuck some girl. So I think one sorry is well enough. You didn't apologize one time to me, and that's why we're not even going to go there. It's what the rest of her sentence would have been. Y'all might be thinking, this doesn't matter. It matters a whole lot. What does this got to do with Sebastian? I'm going to tell you what it has to do with Sebastian. But you got to stay here and hear the whole story from top to bottom because the whole thing is right in your face, being hid behind call me, tell me your problem. Oh, I love you. I love you. I need you. I pray for you. All the sad little thing he shows on there is a tragedy pimp using Sebastian every night. He's on live talking about Sebastian and acting like he's trying to find the end and trying to find Sebastian. He is doing the most shady shit out there more than anything I've seen in a long time. Carry on. Now you can see this is phone. Before he starts lying and saying this is not his phone, look at the top right there. Rev. Got 12 messages waiting on him too. Must be them other ones. Anyway, she says you can remove my single songs off your off and delete them on this DistroKid. I guess that's what they do music with. Anyway, she says I've done it. I took a few songs off my albums. And this is what she's saying to him in the blue. He says anything on my YouTube I can delete. She says, so no, you can remove them. He says, okay, cool. And then he says, I'm not removing them. Get over it. This is her songs now. Her songs, I guess, on his so-called album because he thinks either he's a super content creator or he's a music man. I don't care. He's a liar. He's a liar, and he's using Sebastian's situation to take money from people, and he is lying about all of it. And she said, remove my songs, like, period. And he said, nope. And then she says, then I'll report you for copyright. Damn right. Who are we talking about? We talking about him. See, he's pointing to himself. This is exactly what this idiot is doing. I know you're thinking, what has this got to do with Sebastian? You've got to understand the whole story. You got to understand the whole story. So, the beginning of the story is we got Joey Joker right here who gets in a fight with his girlfriend. Well, wait a minute. No. She kicked him out of her house after 5 years. 5 years. So let's flip the script. 5 years and he left. Oh, by the way, he left when she was at work. He said, I need a period of time to get together. And she said, okay, I'll give you time. And what does he do? I'm sorry, this is a bitch move. He packs up all this stuff, basically destroys her house inside of it, trying to get out of there quick enough, and leaves and bails on this girl while she's at work. Wow. You wasn't even man. I mean, she already told you to get out, so you wasn't man enough to get out while she was there? Or were you afraid whoever the new woman is you're with or going to be with, Seth's throwback, you were afraid they were going to see each other? Hmm. Well, let's follow some of this stuff for a minute now. Y'all are thinking, oh, Monsieur, you're just ragging on him. I don't have no reason to rag on him other than this stupid shit he's done. And it does affect Sebastian. And that is what pissed me off. Not him who he's screwing around on. I could care less. He's got to answer to God. But the whole Sebastian deal and you using Sebastian as a tragedy pimp, dude, let's go. Let me just go on and get this out of the way. T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, May 15th. Remember that date, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that date. He said he recently moved out of Indiana, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I'm getting settled in. Remember this, what I got right. I'm getting settled in, and will get back on the airways as soon as I can. There is a whole thing that while we're all sitting behind looking for Sebastian, looking for any detail we can find, and we're already fed up with Tony and that bullshit, while all that's going on, this little, just watch how this plays out. The lady says, "Did you move?" He said, "Yeah, to Tennessee." Are you kidding me? So let me get this right. You moved from up north for some reason. Maybe the that some girl before this one kicked you out, and you ran to this girl and stayed there for 5 years until you used her to death, and then she got tired of you, and you moved to Tennessee. Remember that, people. Remember that. He moved to Tennessee, and he's trying to keep all this shit on the down low. He does not want anyone in YouTube world having to do with Sebastian. He does not want you to know where he is and what he's doing behind the scenes. Not at all. This lady said, "Now you're my Tennessee neighbor." Yeah, he's a Tennessee neighbor. You can look all this shit up for yourself if you don't believe me. There's so many creators talking about it, it's disgusting. Okay, that's a neighbor. Here's another screenshot. Are you okay? T-Rev, it takes a lot to move into a new home and unpack and get everything running right. Take care. Are you kidding me? He has his subscribers thinking he's come down here, moved into Tennessee and moved into this nice new home. They think he's run away from his girlfriend who's beat his ass, and all she did was throw a cell phone at a blanket that he was under. Man, please. Women talk about domestic violence all the time, and they ain't talking about the cell phone thrown at them under a blanket. There are lots of men in this country who survive domestic violence also, and they are not talking about a cell phone thrown under at the blanket they're laying under. Are you freaking kidding me? You're disgusting. So here we go. You go down to his own comments in his own, I guess, Facebook world. And Danilo Rosa says, look up the video his ex put out a few days. He's playing everyone for a fool. And I'm going to tell you right now, this right here is the thing that set me off. He lied, cheated, and stole. That's not the line. This is the line. He's using Sebastian as a money maker. He's a pretend man of God. You see, I wasn't mad about you a pretend man of God because, well, you kind of proved that live anyway. But it's the part about he's using Sebastian as a money maker. And this person tells him he's a pretend man of God. You do bad things and it comes back on you. God don't like ugly, so it's coming back. Guess what? It's here. God, I guess, sent me to address your unmanliness. So let's go. What's next? Okay, well, here we go. May 17th. Remember the date. It's important. Great news. Rev Gang, me, the internet is finally set up, and I'm busy setting up the YouTube room. Remember that phrase also. He's busy setting up the YouTube room. The room, I guess he had like he did on his normal things, except now you see him behind a white wall with his little one blanky thing up. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. So then you got these people giving comments to this lady that we talked about earlier, all the texts that she wrote, and they say, "Girl, you're a better woman than I am. I would have kicked his ass out immediately. I never cared for him because he uses missing kids to gain money." Just in the month of May, he made almost $4,000, 4K in super chats, not including memberships, AdSense, Cash App, PayPal. I feel disgusted that he took advantage of you and you have to work so hard, and he was probably making more than you. You don't have to like what I'm saying because you just like T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, but all of this happens to be the truth. And if you get the truth put in your face and you don't accept it, that's on you. It ain't on anybody else. This dude is making, here it says, in May, he made almost 4K in super chats. He's making money off Sebastian. And he ain't putting none out to Sebastian either. How would he? He was living in a whole nother freaking states away. He was living in Indiana. Now he lives in Tennessee. Well, hold on, we're not done yet. YouTube suggested this video to me. Somebody wrote her. Diamond4987 said, YouTube suggested this video to me, and not sure why, but I'm very happy they did. I'm actually a part of the Rev Gang. Did y'all hear that? I'm actually a part of the Rev Gang and have been for 3 months now. This is one of his own people talking about it. I honestly am beyond shock. I'm shocked but extremely fucking pissed because I actually thought Trev was a very awesome and sweet guy. Yeah, that's the image he plays or has been playing. I don't know how he can play that after today because if you believe all this evidence after today, well, you're on your own. I found his channel because I'm following the Sebastian Rogers case, and I completely fell in love with Trev's personality and his kindness and his dedication to the case. And I literally never missed a live. I actually cried and felt bad for him because he said he was abused really bad and had to escape it, and I was very worried for him. Now learning what a lying piece of shit he is and how he actually abused the girl makes this woman physically sick. So, you know, all this bullshit you've been getting away with, bro, you're done today. I'm putting all of the truth out there for everybody to see. Sarah Paulson 3127 in all caps. She says, "Oh my goodness. I've been fooled by T.R.A.G.E.D.Y. I thought he was a devout Christian. All you Christians out there, make the sign of the cross right now. That's why I liked him. But obviously, he has many, many people fooled. He's got a whole internet fooled using the name of Sebastian, riding off the back of Sebastian. I didn't know any of this. I'm so sorry you went through this, but God is in control, and He is in control. No matter what faith you are, God is definitely in control, and He is watching, and He has seen everything this sad ass man has done. So ask God for the courage to forgive him. That's on her. It will not make you, it will make you feel free. She'll feel free when he gets this justice from a man of God. And this lady says, as you follow Jesus more, your cussing, it will get less and less. I pray for you to be blessed by Jesus. Thank you for opening my eyes to it. It makes me mad. He uses Jesus to hide the person he really is. Well, isn't that what a Judas is? I mean, so you kind of got to watch in Christianity saying he's not being a Christian because maybe he's just following the wrong examples in the Bible. And as far as her cussing, well, you know, sometimes you got to say things how they really feel and how they really are. I don't think I've ever cussed on my channel, but today I had to put a different hat on. I had to put a different hat on to deal with this man. I have such a hard time calling him a man because everyone who's ever watched my channel, it's no secret. I am a Muslim. I do not treat women this way. I will not allow women to be treated this way in front of me, not even if it is a stranger. I don't believe in people using religion as their reason for doing something bad. Because in my religion, God does not tell me to do things that are bad. Women are supposed to be put up on a pedestal. They are supposed to be given the kindness of everything a man can do. Are all Muslims the same? No. A lot of what you see on TV, that's not knowing the whole story, but it is what it is in visuals, and people believe what they believe. Do I believe in those things? No. I read the Quran and I do what Allah, which is a Islamic word, it's just a different language. The word is God. So let's not confuse that. And the only reason I'm talking about this part is because this woman is saying to her, God is in control. And this young lady, because of all of this, started going to the Catholic Church. And she asked him and begged him to go to the church with her. They've been together 5 years. 5 years. And this is what shady ass move he did. Y'all think I'm kidding, huh? I mean, all of that, you're like, yeah, but I don't know. Okay, really? Well, I think this is when it started. All this shit started when this kind of when this got let out the bag.
The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. Um, what is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
I'm sorry, we have to hear that again. We just do.
The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. Um, what is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
Okay. So, Seth, when he took his polygraph, he says this to the examiner. So, it is at this moment that in his body, in his heart, in all of him, he says, I believe Katie overdosed him, and basically, um, he's gone. He's not. Let's hear it again.
The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. Um, what is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
So there it is. Seth told an examiner, the one he took the, polygraph with, that he believes that Katie overdosed him and took his life. And ever since he has said that statement, the world, according to Seth, changed completely. Sorry, I had to get some water. He started getting rid of the women who were his PIs. He all of a sudden couldn't trust them. So he got rid of them one by one by one and brought on Tony. Tony. Hmm. You mean this guy? Fake news Tony? You mean this guy? Seth Rogers' team? Who is Tony's friend? Nina? We all know the story about Nina. It was it was told. Nina was interviewed at some point before her court case. So we know what she said. So why is she on Tony's team? So we got TikTok fake news Tony. There's Seth's beautiful face on it. We got Seth Rogers' team. Who's Tony's friend Nina? We know who Nina is. She done a whole video about Chris Proudfoot because they had a court case coming up. Most people don't know that. They might have been like, oh, she's just talking shit about him and all that. No, there was a court case coming up, and she started telling all that business before the court case came up. And that's how that pancake landed. And then we got here. People asking, don't you fact check before you even release this sort of information? Even the one guy said in the end it was false, and Tony Singh kicked him off the panel. You see how this works? The team, SETH, led by Tony Mathis, while SETH knows and believes, he said he believed in him that his son was deceased. SETH said that. And ever since then, Tony has been gathering his team and trying to get everybody going misdirections here, there, everywhere. And part of that misdirection and stupidness has to do with T.R.A.G.E.D.Y. So we got T.R.A.G.E.D.Y in the gang now. T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is under Tony Mathis. Chris is under Tony Mathis. Nina's under Tony Mathis. I saw on YouTube a while ago, people are starting to say Bullhorn Betty's going under Tony Mathis. I hope she doesn't. I had a problem with her before. She stole my shit and gave me credit. That's how it was. I called her out on it. But I hope that she doesn't fall for this shit, because she does honestly go out and look for missing children. This is not her first rodeo. The only first rodeo that Bullhorn Betty can get into is riding with the Tony Mathis cowboy gang, and they gone into the circus. So since they gone into the circus, let me do something real quick, because that's what this is, a circus. I know you don't believe it. I know. Well, let's try this a little bit.
I would have went live during the vigil, but let me get down here. I would have went live during the vigil, but I had to go to Sam's Club and buy a bunch of shit. I had to go get hot dogs and water and stuff for everybody. I wanted to make sure I did something worthy. Sebastian has brought T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, Terry Lynn, Seth, Pascal, and many more together, and we will find you, Sebastian, and reunite you with your daddy. Misty, I would have went live during the vigil. I would have went live during the vigil, but let me get down here. I would have went live during the vigil, but I had to go to Sam's Club and buy a bunch of shit.
Hold on.
I had to go get
I was
hot
trying
dogs
to
and water
stop
and
it
stuff for
so you
everybody.
could
I
hear
wanted to make
everything,
sure
but
I did
I'm going to shut
something
up.
worthy. Sebastian has brought T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, Terry Lynn, Seth, Pascal, and many more together, and we will find you, Sebastian, and reunite you with your daddy. Misty Fisher, thank you, I appreciate that. What's going on? Frozen Moments, Ball Fan, Joanne, how you doing? Are you living in Hendersonville, my hometown? I stay in Tennessee. Yes, I do. I do stay in Tennessee.
There we go. All that stuff that I told you earlier, all the things that I read, the text between him and his girl, all the comments on the YouTube, everything about he's finally set up and he's setting up his YouTube room. He's in Tennessee. But, well, let's see this.
Oh, they're coming out of everywhere. I know Savage is live right now with T.R.A.G.E.D.Y and his bullshit and his girlfriend. I don't really give a fuck if he cheated on his girlfriend. I don't care what goes on in his house. Don't give a fuck about any of that. What I give a fuck about is him fucking tragedy pimping off of Sebastian's fucking case, and going and snuggling up with Sebastian's dad, the father of a missing child in a missing child's case, moving in with them and shit. Like, how fucking far are you tragedy pimps gonna fucking go? I mean, when is enough enough? Like, how far is too far? I mean, seriously. So we got T.R.A.G.E.D.Y moving in, cheating on his girlfriend, owing $50,000 in fucking back child support, but can go pay for hot dogs and a fucking cookout for a missing child, but can't pay for his own child. I mean, what the fuck? Then we have Terry Lynn. Here, we finna start.
I hope everybody caught that. And I hope that you back it up maybe later when we get off, because we're not done with the info. You got to stay tuned. We're at the circus. We're at the big top. We're at the big top. And in case you haven't put it together yet, T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is living in Seth's apartment, his 2-bedroom apartment, where one room was his or is his, and the other room is Sebastian's. And everybody says, well, why? You can't. Okay, I'll prove it again.
Here, I had to move away from it. Hello, how you doing?
His shady ass is looking around to see who's watching him. He
From
gets
it, but
far away from people.
my bad. I would have went live. Like I said, I would have went live during the vigil, but let me get down here. I would have went live during the vigil, but I had to go to Sam's Club and buy a bunch of shit. I had to go get hot dogs and water and stuff for everybody. I wanted to make sure I did something worthy. Sebastian has brought T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, Terry Lynn, Seth, Pascal, and many more together, and we will find you, Sebastian, and reunite you with your daddy. Misty Fisher, thank you, I appreciate that. What's going on? Frozen Moments, Ball Fan, Joanne, how you doing? Are you living in Hendersonville, my hometown? I stay in Tennessee. Yes, I do. I do stay in Tennessee. All right, let's turn this bad boy.
So his face, he's like, yeah, I do stay in Tennessee. Because you just now got the balls to say it. Because I went into your live myself and I asked you 6 different times. Asked you before I ever made this live complete to go up with, when I knew that you were in Tennessee, in Seth's house, in Sebastian's room. I asked you over and over and over, are you living with Sebastian? Are you living with Seth? And you refused to answer that question. If there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, then why wouldn't you say, yes, I am staying with Seth for the meantime? At least tell that much of a lie, because it is a lie. Because the rest of this lie is, he's going to come out and say that he's only staying with Seth a part-time, a few days, while he gets his things settled with the new girl. That would be, hold on, his new girl is Seth's ex-girlfriend. Do I need to say that again? Seth's ex-girlfriend. So T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is living in the house, in the apartment. We all know, we've heard him talk about it. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay? He said it 100 times. Squirrel Girl Gamer says, shaking my head. Wow, T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, wow. That's not even a wow. It's a oh my. That's a oh my. And yeah, 5 years is a long time to leech off a girl just for a place to sleep. Shaking my head, then leave like that. Hey, it's the truth. I have a disease, and that disease is telling the truth. I'm only accountable to God. And God tells me that I have to tell the truth about stuff. I couldn't come on here and do a live about Sebastian again until I got this all out. I can't even get the thought out of my head what the lie detector dude said that Seth told him. Seth told him he believes his son is deceased. Then bye bye CIs, PIs, the girls, they were doing their job. I guess he didn't want them to catch on now. Got to get rid of the girls because they were doing their job and they were going to catch your ass flat as shit. And there wasn't going to be nowhere for you to run. So next to that, we got, let me go back over here. So, and did you hear all the names he laid out? And we wonder why Pascal was backing up off of them, because this is a circus, a tragedy pimp shit show. And either you're going to fall for it or you're going to wake the hell up and do the right thing. And cussing out Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot is not the right thing to do. I was Team Sebastian 100%. My whole channel about Sebastian is putting out to the public things that he loved, that he liked. So I didn't pick a side, Chris or Seth. I didn't pick a side. I stayed in the middle, focused on Sebastian. So if you seen him, you knew what to look for. So you'd know it was him. That's the approach I took. Not the approach of this weak ass creator.
Oh, they're coming out of everywhere. I know Savage is live right now with T.R.A.G.E.D.Y and his bullshit and his girlfriend. I don't really give a fuck if he cheated on his girlfriend. I don't care what goes on in his house. Don't give a fuck about any of that. What I give a fuck about is him fucking tragedy pimping off of Sebastian's fucking case and, going and snuggling up with Sebastian's dad, the father of a missing child in a missing child's case, moving in with them and shit. Like, how fucking far are you tragedy pimps gonna fucking go? I mean, when is enough enough? Like, how far is too far? I mean, seriously.
How far is too far? Let me see.
I would have went live during the vigil, but let me get down here. I would have went live during the vigil, but I had to go to Sam's Club and buy a bunch of shit. I had to go get hot dogs and water and stuff for everybody. I wanted to make sure I did something worthy. Sebastian has brought T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, Terry Lynn, Seth, Pascal, and many more together, and we will find you, Sebastian, and reunite you with your daddy. Misty Fisher, thank you, I appreciate that. What's going on? Frozen Moments, Bull Fan, Joanne, how you doing? Are you living in Hendersonville, my hometown? I stay in Tennessee. Yes, I do. I do stay in Tennessee. I would have went.
So he just had to convince himself in that deal. Yeah, I do. See that face trying to convince himself. Because you know why? I've been asking, and I've been a heat missile on his ass about this. And they didn't care who he told. Let's look at this video more, because he's shady as shit running around this vigil.
There's a lot of people that showed out today, man. I'm so happy that many people that came by and supported out here. Mostly everybody left, but again, I wasn't even gonna go live. You know what I mean? Wasn't even gonna go live, but. I wasn't even gonna go live, ladies and gentlemen, but it was a good turnout. A lot of people showed up for Sebastian, which was great. I know that the other one, the other get together that they had, that was a really powerful get together. A lot of tears were shed. There was a lot of, you said that's awesome. Seth has you guys there for your support. Where is Seth? Hold up. I got you. Let's go find Seth. Seth's up there. You see Seth right up there. How you doing? Whoa! Seth is up here.
So here we are at the top of the steps. We got Tony Mathis talking to Seth. And then we got the big name creators there, YouTube creators, Pascal, and they're here.
See, Seth's over here in the corner.
Pascal was in the corner. They all was hooked up together. They're all standing here together.
I had to move away from you with your daddy.
Hold on.
Where is Seth? Hold up. I got you.
I got you too. He
again, Tony's over.
There they are over there talking. This thing moves too quick sometimes, or it moves too far.
See, Seth's over here in the corner.
Pascal and everybody are right here. I'm trying to prove that point. But all the YouTube creators that went are there talking, chit-chatting, and, experiencing, meeting each other for the first time in person. And you got this shady little rat running around, taking, video of them, and then running off into the corner. Everything's good. I bought hot dogs, and I bought wieners and water, and why don't you just tell us you ran away from your girlfriend for 5 years, and the first place you ran was to this event? And don't say it wasn't pre-set up for you to move with Seth, because, well, we got to go back to the messages. He say, I'm talking to somebody. He said, laughing, and he says, I'm on the phone and laughing. It's real funny. We'll see who laughs last. And he says, literally talking to the kid's dad. So he started right here. He started right there of moving in with Seth. He can lie about it all he wants to. There's your receipt. I'm making my girlfriend yelling in the background because I done screwed the hell up and she's abusing me. She hit me with a cell phone while I was under the cover. And it hit the cover, but it bruised me. It bruised my leg. I would have laughed at your ass, and I would have said, why aren't you taking care of the woman you've been living with for 5 years? Why would she throw a phone at you? Like, that shit costs money. But come to find out, you left 2 old phones there with her, and all your shitty shit's all over it. Serves you right. There's really nothing else to show in this video other than him hiding from people, running around.
Pascal's right here talking.
See, he's not going up and talking to the other creators. He's not going up there talking to Pascal. He's not going over there and interacting with all these YouTube creators at all. And yet, it's all about Sebastian. Hiding in a corner. There he goes. Looking around. Talking about how big Seth is. Pascal is. He's got a real problem with his own height for some reason. I'm not going to get into that. I don't have those kind of man issues. Um, I'm an alpha male. I'm not a beta male. That's what's on the screen right there. A beta bitch. He ran away from a girl. And fix your hat, cause you. Never mind. I just never. I'm gonna have to go to a lot of prayer after this, but I knew it in advance. I even had um, a talk about it of how I would approach it, but I wouldn't feel good if I hadn't approached it like an alpha male should and called out a shady ass male who abuses women and within runs out of the house without left her with all the bills and other stuff she was paying for, while he's got 4K apparently sitting up in the bank from people who can see that shit that he takes on his, lives, his people that are in his Discord and behind. They telling on your ass, and then you're here. He made that plan before he left that girl's house, and it wasn't to come to it wasn't to come to the vigil. He used the vigil as a shade in to this.
So we got T.R.A.G.E.D.Y moving in, cheating on his girlfriend, owing $50,000 in fucking back child support, but can go pay for hot dogs and a fucking cookout for a missing child, but can't pay for his own child. I mean, what the fuck? Then we have Terry Lynn. Here, we finna start.
$50,000 in child support. The thing is, I don't know if it's this woman he just ran out on, or the woman before that this poor girl picked him up in his sad story. Somewhere in the world, there are children that are the responsibility of T.R.A.G.E.D.Y not being taken care of. Do I take that seriously? Absolutely. You know why? Because in my faith and what I believe, we do so much stuff for children, it's unreal. And we do this because we know that children, no matter what the age, whether you 55, 25, 13, 2 months old, you don't belong to the parent, but the parent is held responsible by God to take care of his child. Does his faith? Well, I don't think he has a faith, yet he acts like he does. I mean, I've been to the Catholic Church before. This is not my first rodeo anywhere. I know a lot about religion, any religion. I don't care. It's my master's degree in other religions to learn about that. And I don't attack people about what they believe. But if you're going to say you believe something, then do the proper job of that faith. The girl was going to a Catholic church, and I know they got strict man rules, and you wasn't following none of them. You don't treat women that way, and you don't treat children this way like you're treating Sebastian. Sebastian is a child of God. He belongs to God. And you, Seth, and Tony have no right whatsoever to create a facade about Sebastian. You said to the lie detector guy, that you didn't believe Sebastian was alive anymore. You didn't believe it. That's what you said. And then you started doing all this shit. You brought Tony in. I got to tell people again? Really? I shouldn't have to. It's all over YouTube. And you want to talk about Katie and Chris? Everybody out there was making fun of them and lives and all that about that live they just did with Queen Bee. And you know what I did? I was steaming about this shit. And I was waiting for something nasty to come about in that, because everybody's either this side or that side, not on God's side, because God's on Sebastian's side. That's the side I'm on. I'm with Sebastian by God. Period. That's a big exclamation point. And these people, they got time to get right with God if they want to. But I can't help them at this point, and neither can anyone listening to this. They belong to God in this nasty, nasty comedian show that they're doing. They're using Sebastian's death, if he is gone with peace to God in heaven, because that's what Seth said that he believes. And that's not something we've ever heard Katie and Chris say. But everybody's talking about him being on the Queen Bee and talking about how Katie was like, oh, he loves this, he loves that. You know what? I'll talk about that, because I actually listened to Queen Bee for the first time ever. And I know what led up to Katie and Chris being there. And then I listened to the whole time they were talking. And nothing shocked me, because when I was in the military, we lost people. I have some friends that are still prisoners of war. And sometimes when I'm talking to certain people, I will talk about how they made me laugh when they did something, or how something of their character was a warm remembrance. And there is nothing wrong with a mother talking about her fond memories that she hangs on to for her life, because that is all she has. And if you'd have really been listening to Chris and Katie, you would have learned more about Sebastian, more things to look for in anybody that passes you. Instead of tearing Katie and Chris apart, you should have been listening to the wealth of information you got about Sebastian. But no, that isn't what people want to talk about now, because of these idiots. This little gang, the gang of Tony and Seth. Seth, I got a question for you, bro. What happens if Sebastian walks through the door right now? How do you explain to him that T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is in his room? with his T.R.A.G.E.D.Y logo, bright neon sign on the wall, claiming now that he's setting up his studio. Seth, how do you explain that? So your thought is he's already deceased and you let that knowledge be known. So everything you're doing is a facade. I heard it out your own mouth. Heard it out your own mouth right here.
The following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. What is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
That's what you told him. That you believe that Sebastian has gone home to my father, God, to everybody's father, God, because that's our true father. Because he don't leave us when the chips are down, and he don't leave us when we go down the wrong path, and he don't leave us even when and if an accident occurred. But he damn sure pays attention if you turn that innocent child's death into a tragedy where you corruptly start collecting money off of him. And that's what T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is doing. Every night when he goes on there and he starts talking about Sebastian and he's living in the next room, that's a lie. He's a lie. And what's the lie? He's living in Sebastian's room. Let that sink in. He is living in Sebastian's room. And what do you got to tell him? Oh, you know he's not coming home. That's right. You know he's not coming home. So are you saying what, that Katie and Chris believe that too? Well, they haven't expressed that. And they are still doing what they know. They're talking about putting, doing other things to bring more awareness to missing children. And no matter how much you like them or hate them, that is the right thing to do. Because none of us knows the truth about what happened. But apparently, Seth does. And is making money. Oh, so you're going to say Seth isn't making the money. T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is. Oh, okay. T.R.A.G.E.D.Y, let me let me say this the right way then. T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is on his show every night in Sebastian's room making money about Sebastian. And Sebastian's dad is sitting in another room in the same apartment, and yet he gets on and cries about, I want my son's stuff so I can put it back in his room. I want my son's stuff so I can put it back in his room. All of this stuff with Tony needs to stop. If you're a person out there who believes that Tony is going all the time on TikTok and thinks he's doing the right thing because of Sebastian. I just told you all the reasons you need to know about what's going on behind the scene. So if you choose, there's only three paths. There's Katie and Chris, Seth and T.R.A.G.E.D.Y living in a house together, cohabitating, and the truth. And the truth hasn't come out yet because we haven't found Sebastian. And when we do, the rain of truth will fall down on everybody, to include myself. And the only thing I've done for this kid is pray for him every single night, every more times than you know in a day. Let me just put it like that. People think you aren't doing enough if you ain't out there in the streets. Look what happened to run around in the streets, Scott. We got two gangs. The freak show tragedy pimps. They need t-shirts for themselves. But no, really, they need to. This is an outing video. That's what this is. For everybody to know. And anybody listen to this, I want you to leave as many comments as you want to underneath this video and just tell the truth. Force Seth to tell the truth and not the bullshit story that, well, he has a girlfriend here. Yeah, we know the girl that he left, cheated, all that shit with the girl I talked about earlier. And he's just waiting to live in her so called 5-bedroom house. Guess he got a better model. Guess he got a better model. T-Rev, I leave you with one thing. And Seth, I leave you with one thing also. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's John 8:32. You need to get rid of these people around you, Seth. They're full of bad things that are not helping. But you stop believing that Sebastian is alive. The day you said that to the lie detector guy, and there's nothing I can say or anybody else that can make you act different because you already exposed it. You exposed that you believe Katie did something to him, over medicated him, and he passed away. You've already said it. I played it 3 times, I think, on here. So that's the truth. And if that's what you believe, because you said that's what you believe, then you need to shut this Tony shit down. Stop all this fake TBI shit to get money. Stop the Tony rodeo because it's not true. If you feel like you're under so much stress and Tony's there to make things better for you, well, he's not. And that is plain to see for everybody. But you know the truth.
I'm sorry to interrupt this programming. Sorry to interrupt this programming, sir. I just wanted to let you know in the background that T.R.A.G.E.D.Y is going live, and his title is Sebastian Rogers, I'm Done with This Circus. And considering yours has the word circus in it, I'm just allowing you to know.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye.
I guess come here.
Okay.
I guess you're saying to me that T-Rev got the message.
I don't know. I don't know.
T-Rev has gone live, and he says
He hasn't started talking yet. His title is Sebastian Rogers, I'm Done with This Circus.
he's done with the circus. So, since my live says he's a tragedy pump and live at the circus, he has joined the circus on his channel. And I pray, T-Rev, that you just tell the truth. Ask God for forgiveness and get back to what you started out trying to do. Find this young man. And I'm going to leave it at that, y'all. Because, like I said, you know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. Look it up. Y'all have a great evening. And please, like, share, and subscribe, please. And leave me a lot of comments. I like that when y'all do it.